This budget will come in at $105,856,488. That represents $3.7 million increase from the previous year, a net increase of 3.67%. Total tax levy is built by Proposition 2.5, right? And with a new growth estimate this year of around $600,000. We were higher last year, but that was driven by the surge in the housing market. We don't see that this year. We also see far fewer permits being pulled for modifications. We are seeing the impact of cannabis receipts, right, with only one retail location. We do believe we'll have at least one additional location this year and potentially two. Pilot payments are stable, but hats off and thank you to North Attleboro Electric Department and their Board of Electric Commissioners. They voted to let the town use $14 million of reserves that they had on hand to invest for the benefit of the town. It's still their money, right? It's still in AD, but we're investing that and we're getting the return to come back to the town. And Chief Coleman will tell you that we're seeing a 7% year-over-year increase in the number of ambulance runs here in town. We do have an aging population. There are a number of runs. A lot of this is covered by insurance. What was $1.7 million a year ago is now over $2 million in ambulance receipt reserve. We started out FY23 with $8,047,944. You see the projects that we asked you and brought before the council in the last budget that we presented to you and came back when free cash was certified and spent $3.3 million on those projects. We also saw, in working with the schools, right, that there would be a requirement to fund the feasibility study. Previous to this budget, you put $1.6 million into the Capital Improvement Stabilization Fund, but we were able to draw $1 million from this and support the schools and the town in being able to not borrow for a feasibility study. If you'll look at the available amount, $3,510,944 remain in FY23 free cash. General stabilization. This is a number that makes the S&P very happy with us. We're at $7.1 million right now. Again, this is based on a threshold that they like to see at least 5% of your overall budget income be held in reserves. We're above that. Capital improvement stabilization. Previously, it was $1.6 million. We're down to $434,000. We're looking for a full-time employee under the public buildings to work as a joint facilities director in partnership with the school system. We also see a full-time employee in the town manager's office. This would be the residential services representative that we funded by contract in the previous year. We also see a part-time employee to be hired in the Human Resources Department. We did talk last council meeting about the building inspector. Very soon our building commissioner will be back and working. We are scheduled for interviews to hire a local. Last year, you may recall, I removed the salary for the deputy's position, which had not been filled. That has since been filled. We asked you to cover that with the salary reserve. That has been covered, so this corrects that, puts that salary back into the business. So you're going to see some increases here. We are going to present to you a budget that includes ask for 4 additional police officers. We also do see 1 part-time employee in animal control. God bless Felicia Kamara. Yeah. She is absolutely a workhorse, but she is doing it by herself, right? We are literally working Felicia to death. And we need to provide her some help, right? We have a budget that can do this. We're asking for a part-time employee. We're on track, right, with our financial look. Yeah, come on. Superintendent made me do that one. The only assumption I made in moving these numbers is we followed Proposition 2.5, the levy set. The levy set until Proposition 2.5 changes, or the town council votes a different number for the levy. The budget forecast comes in 27, the same year that we would potentially pay for Tri-County, at $116,062,579. That's why I feel very confident being able to come before you and say that we could afford the potential of all the employees that we've included in this addition and pay for the Tri-County based on that, while managing our debt, putting money into capital stabilization, increasing our OPEB contributions on an annual basis, maintaining our great credit, and hopefully by 27, interest rates are going to be down and make borrowing more affordable. But the effort starts this year.